1998 to 2024. Adam Copeland had one of the craziest matches in Double or Nothing. And this is kind of a crazy picture for me, too, because 1998 is actually the year I was born.
You
Yeah.
young tyke.
Oh, yeah. Gangrel, man. He came out there. He helped Edge or Adam Copeland win the match. And I think that's what we should start off talking with the match. But we got to also talk about the potential injury because Adam Copeland might be injured. And we don't know yet. And Tony Khan did a press conference and he was like, I hope he's not injured. That's what Tony Khan said as well. So we'll talk about that too. But first of all, Kenny, what did you think about the barbed wire cage match? Oh my God.
Bro, it was insane. I would say it was more insane than I expected it to be because we see these AEW or the WWE guys come into AEW, and a lot of times they'll kind of get kind of edgy, but pretty much they'll stay on that WWE safe side. And Adam Copeland, being an older man, I expected him to stay on that WWE safe side, but in this match, the man went insane. We talk about the injury that happened. I don't know what he was thinking because I don't know if he ever even did something like this in WWE, and he definitely did not execute what he was trying to do correctly.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan can hope all he wants, but it doesn't look good.
To me, it doesn't look good either. And like, I don't get what was his, thought process was. Like, was he trying to be safe for his opponent, being kind of selfless and taking all the damage? For himself, I'm not sure, but like, Edge is an old man, and the older you get, injuring your kneecaps, dislocating them, getting them out of the place that they're supposed to be, it's super easy. It gets way too easier. I don't know why God is kind of cruel in that way. But yeah, that did no favors for
turn and heel on God.
like Vince McMahon, man, need a match. But yeah, dude, we gotta show this. We gotta show this one. This is basically Edge. We cannot show
this is what happened.
AEW footage, but this is pretty accurate, okay? Bam! Literally the exact same.
Exactly what happened to Adam Copeland, y'all. He went to the top of that cage, and we saw Kurt Angle get up there and kind of crash and burn, but his wasn't. I don't even think his was. It might have looked worse, but with Adam Copeland, if you imagine going on top of a house and just jumping off, landing straight on your feet, that's what he did. Instead of going into the elbow drop, and I can understand, I'm not a wrestler, so I can only imagine how scary it would be, like landing down straight for an elbow drop into the ring from that height. But he went and landed on his feet before delivering the elbow.
Well, and I can give you some like a bit of an experience, I guess, that I've went into, like wrestling training, and like even if you go in a normal ring to the top rope and you look down into the middle of that ring, just from the top rope, it's scary. It feels way too high. You want to get down immediately, and you beat your fear as you do with everything else. Taking bumps or taking back body drops, whatever. But it is high up there, and then you put the cage on top of that, and again, this makes me even more like confused because if I'm Edge at that point, I'm a veteran. I got nothing to lose. I'm wrestling a guy that's younger than me that can take the punishment. I'm going all body slam edition. I'm throwing my entire body on Malachi Black there, and I'm not definitely not like landing on my feet, on my arms. Nah, you're taking the whole bump, man. I don't care. You're taking the whole thing. But yeah, Edge basically just said goodbye to his knees, I guess. I don't know. Again,
goodbye to the knees, the ankles. He could have blown out everything from the foot to the waist. I don't know, man. I hope he's okay. But after the match, he was limping out of there, and he was kind of like telling Gangrel, like,
right,
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, you know what? Let's just get out of here. But speaking of Gangrel, kiddo, we got a huge return. We predicted it. We told y'all a WWE legend was coming back at Double or Nothing, and it happened. I know you said you were born in 98, but you're our historian here. Have you gone back and taken a look at the Brood stuff? Are you familiar with Gangrel? How did you feel when this went down?
I mean, it's always nice. I think a lot of people remember Gangrel because of his theme song, and his gimmick was kind of sick. He had a nice entrance with the blood, giving people blood baths. It was just completely Attitude Era to its, T. So people always liked him, but he was never seen as someone who's good in the ring. He didn't really even cut good promos, So that's why, like, even with everything he had, he never went to that main event role. If he was actually a good promo, good in the ring, this guy could have been maybe even a one-time, two-time world champion. Maybe I'm going kind of crazy, but yeah, his in-ring ability and promo ability really held him back. But hey, people loved him, man. I don't know. We
Yeah,
could, compare him to like someone from the DX, like Billy Gunn. He's at that
yeah,
level. Like he really was at that level. Like if I remember correctly. Again, if we
yeah.
have,
No, you're right. You're right, but I mean, I grew up in the Attitude Era, so back then, like, we didn't look at the wrestlers like you have to be a world champion
yeah,
because it was really your few top guys you had in that spot: The Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, and it was like just that crop of guys. But even on the undercard, the guys were really good. I always mention him when we bring up the Attitude Era. He might have been my favorite wrestler, Val Venus. It was guys like Val Venus who got
oh
over, and
yeah,
you liked him as a character. Guys like Gangrel, just him packaged with the Brood, like Edge and Christian. I never felt like, oh, this guy needs to be a world champion.
yeah,
I always loved him in that package with those guys. You think about other guys like D'Lo Brown. He was in there with the Nation of Domination. Everybody loved him because he did the head thing. He was actually a big guy, but you didn't look at him like he's a world champion. I was
no,
fine with him being a European champion. So when I see Gangrel, I don't even think about him as being like a failed wrestler. Like he didn't make it
no,
as far as he could have gone because he left a big impact. And a lot of people who grew up during the Attitude Era, I know they got those same feelings I got when we saw him pop up in that ring. I was like, bro, this is beautiful.
yeah,
And I just knew it was going to happen when Adam Copeland came out and he had the Brood on the
oh
Titantron.
yeah.
I just wish Christian didn't have a match this night so he could have came out and joined them, man. It would have made the package so beautiful.
It was actually, that's a great word, beautiful. Like it was beautiful seeing this. It was beautiful seeing the crowd reaction. I like the fact that Gangrel still kind of has a man. He threw, two executions and, yeah, and cleared the place. Got kicked in the face, but that was enough for Edge to go ahead and get the spear, get the win. I only don't. Well, we don't know. If this felt like to me, and this makes me a little sad, but it felt like to me that this was a one-time thing, like Stone Cold
Yeah.
and Hulk Hogan cancel Christmas on him. But at WrestleMania, right, that one-off segment, when Buddy Matthews and Brody King kind of sided with Edge for a second,
Oh, yes.
and the
Another
crowd was
beautiful part of the match.
going crazy for that. I
Yeah.
do kind of wish that we kind of have another Judgment Day. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
AEW, I was kind of hyped for
That's
that.
That's what came to mind. Like when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's what they meant when they put the Brood on the Titantron. This is going to be the new Brood." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, this is the Judgment Day kind of like Edge telling the story like he wanted to tell it in WWE." And then they kind of just killed it. And I was like, "Oh, okay, it was cool, but I guess that's not where we're going." But man, this was a beautiful shot, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Entrance too with the Slayer music. It was really nice. And honestly, the new Brood, while right now, as we said, it does seem like a one and done thing, I can see potential here because Christian Cage lost this match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. What is he gonna do next? Well, he fought Edge, and they've done basically anything they can do against each other. So we were already speculating that might be a tag team. Well, you got Gangrel back, you got Christian basically doing nothing. You got in Christian group some young guy who could be a perfect new vampire. I don't know. I don't know. They might
Yeah.
just go ahead and pull it off. A new Brood. I mean, even the name sounds cool. The new Brood. Come
New
on.
Brood, yeah. WWE doesn't own it. We see it on the Titantron.
You're right.
So it's
You're right.
possible.
You're right.
It's possible.